Hello everyone and welcome to this mini-series in UE4 tutorials. This series will be covering all about inverse kinematics or IKs, explaining what they are, how we use them, and then demonstrating how to actually implement them into your game. So this part I want to focus on explaining what is an IK first of all, so you understand what it is and how it works before we go ahead and start actually making one. So when animating a character or animating anything really, there are two ways about it. You've got forward kinematics or inverse kinematics. So I'm going to go over to my 3D modeling software. And in here I've got one arm set up with forward kinematics here, and another arm here set up with inverse kinematics. So forward kinematics is when you start at the root of the hierarchy in the rig. And if you want to position this arm into a position, we start the root, we rotate it, and go down, forward in the chain to get the correct position. However, with inverse kinematics, we start at the end. So here I've set up a IK handle. I can move it, and you can see the bones will auto adjust their position based on that IK. So essentially that is what we're doing. Now in Unreal, what we do is we set up what is called a 2-bone IK. So here's an example of a 2-bone IK with 2 bones. And this IK uses a very simple way of basically, if I move this effector, which is what this is, it will reposition the bones based on a joint locator. Basically, this locator basically tells where the joint here points to. More explained later on when we get into it. But most thing you need to worry about is that the effector is what we are moving, and the bones will adjust accordingly. So let's go back to Unreal, and let's showcase how this actually works. So I'm going to go into my animation blueprint, and in my anim graph. So I'm just going to demonstrate how this works. Okay, so we'll go into a lot more detail actually setting this up with proper foot placement and things like that later on. But let's just get started with this. So in your animation graph, we can use a node called 2-bone IK. Now 2-bone IK is a special function which allows us to implement a pose and tell it which location the effector should take and the joint target location. So where should it point towards? So let's showcase how this works. So the important thing is with bone IKs is that they take place in the component space rather than local space. Now, fortunately, Unreal will do this automatically for you. If you were to connect the state machine here to the component, you get the local to component node, and at the end here, we drag the result back, and you get component to local. So it switches from local to component and then back again afterwards. So the 2-bone IK. When you click on the yellow node for 2-bone IK, on the details panel, we can choose which bone is going to be affecting the IK. In this case, let's say the foot. So I'm going to change this to, let's say, foot left. I've got a load of other options as well, which we'll go through a later time. But the most important point is, if you can scroll down, you see the effector location space. At the moment, it says component space. You can probably leave that as is, but if you want, you can always change that to use a different space, such as parent bone or bone space. So with here, you can see with it selected, I can actually change the location of my effector. So at the moment, you see the foot is the effector, therefore the gizmo here is at the effector. Now, if I were to drag and move this up, you can see the IK doing its thing. Now you can see it breaking, basically, not following the rules that we want it to follow. That is all because the joint target location is set to 0, 0, 0. Now, joint target location, you can see here, and that responds back to the original location of the effector. So, at the moment, it's pointing to that. So you can see the knee here is pointing to the the joint target location. So we need to change the target location to be the other side of it over there. Okay. So if I were to change this value here, we can, let's just say, if I go over to yeah, let's go and change this. So X, if we change the X here a little bit, so X is in this red arrow direction, so we can change this only a little bit. Let's say about 30. There we go. And you can see the knee changing its location where it's pointing to. The most important one is going to be Y. So this will be quite far forward, so let's say 300. Okay. And now you can see things working, okay. So there's my joint locator, and it's pointing to the floor. Now, the effector and the locator aren't really working well together here. So you see the knee go a bit weird, yeah. So here we can change the Z-axis to raise it up a little bit, and you can see, oh, hello. You can see it change a little bit here. Oh. So if I change that, say, like, let's go 40. You can see the knee just slightly tweak. Okay. And that, once you've got it set up at your joint target location, that can kind of stay the same really. You don't really need to change much of that, because as we move the leg, you can see it is following the locator. Yeah. And likewise, we can do this for any bone. So if I went to the right foot, so if I went to change it to foot right, and hit compile, you can now see, I can click on here and change the location of the right foot. The only thing we need to be wary about is the locator still, because the locator here is set to different locations, different data. So here I want to probably change the X location here to be probably negative. So it points a bit more straight. But that's kind of what it does. Okay, so what we need to do if we want to do foot placement is we need it to dynamically change this effector location based on where it finds the floor. And the joint target location, as I said, once you set it up, kind of stays the same. It's just a matter of tweaking that to get to look the best on your model. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to go through the process of starting the setup of calculating the effector location. So join us in the next part over on Patreon right now on patreon.com/RyanAiley, where a donation of just $1 will get access to that video plus many others. So thank you very much to all of my patrons for supporting me and voting for this video/series. And thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.